Any ban on TikTok is not just banning the freedom of expression. You are literally causing huge harm to our national economy. We have small business owners that are here and small business owners from across the country that use TikTok to move our economy forward. All of our social media platforms need to be treated equally and need to be treated the same way. And to single out TikTok in this way, we believe is dangerous and certainly against freedom of expression.
I am here today to stand alongside of some of my colleagues and these creators to say, not only am I a no on tomorrow's TikTok ban bill, but I'm a hell no on tomorrow's TikTok. I am highly concerned about our data being collected and being misused by both foreign adversaries and also domestic companies. But this bill does not fix that problem. Let's be honest here. This bill doesn't fix it. We could pass this, it could get signed tomorrow, I hope it doesn't. And in 6 months, in a year, we'll be back at the same conversation, possibly talking about some other social media platform that's misusing our data.
Not a single thing that we heard in today's classified briefing was unique to TikTok. It was things that happen on every single social media platform. And frankly, the threats that they were talking to us about are things that will continue happening on every single social media platform, even if this legislation passes.
This app is so much more than just an app for dumb TikTok dances. So when I hear these elected officials literally mock and make fun of TikTok and its creators, I'm disgusted. This is a life-changing app. So many people, not only 5 million small businesses rely on it, but 170 million people rely on this app for more than just their livelihood. They rely on this app for their mental health.
Steamrolling this bill, this is the fastest I've seen a bill go through in my year and change in Congress. I'd like to see a bill that will maybe address gun violence go that fast when we have 100 kids dying a day. I'd love to see a bill combating the climate crisis.
This bill is not going to address this. 180 days turnaround is not going to get us, first of all, TikTok to be interrupted. I mean, you're talking about people's livelihood in this moment. And the fact that we have not heard from people, from community, we fast-tracked through hearings, is dangerous precedent that we just can't allow to happen.
Thank you all very much. Appreciate it.
So lawmakers and the head of the FBI, the CIA, have raised concerns about TikTok, and the reason is because TikTok is owned by a Chinese company called ByteDance. Now, China has laws on the books that compel Chinese companies and organizations to cooperate with any kind of intelligence, national intelligence work that the country might want to do. So lawmakers have expressed concerns that the data of Americans that is on the app, 170 million Americans that use TikTok, could potentially be forced over to the Chinese government. But there hasn't been any specific incidents that the US government has provided of data sharing occurring between TikTok and the Chinese government.
Thank you for, do I stand here? Okay, well, thank you for covering this. I just have a few words to say before I go.
President Trump had signed an executive order to ban TikTok back in 2020. That got blocked by the federal courts after TikTok sued. The Biden administration, when they came in, they revoked that executive order, but they let a review inside the administration of TikTok continue, a foreign investments review. And then there's been some bills introduced in the Senate to try to give the president powers to ban TikTok without naming the company specifically, but that has been stalled in the Senate for quite some time now. So last week, TikTok sent a notification out to some users urging them to call their representatives and speak out against this bill. What resulted was a ton of users who called congressional offices. Congressional offices in different places were getting calls, and some had to even unplug their phones. The head of the China Select Committee in the House and the ranking member then told TikTok that they were misrepresenting the bill and spreading misinformation because TikTok had called the bill a ban, and they're saying it's not a ban. Instead, it is a ban if ByteDance doesn't choose to divest in TikTok and the other application it owns within 6 months of the bill's enactment. So a national ban is possible. India and some other countries, a handful of other countries, have imposed a national ban. So what this bill would do would be to, if ByteDance chooses not to divest in TikTok, it would prohibit the app from appearing in app stores. It would also try to get web hosting platforms to try to take down TikTok and not host TikTok in the United States. So a ban is possible. So far, the federal government has a ban on TikTok use on official devices, and a number of states in the United States also have that as well.
Now, I'm going to make 4 commitments to this community today and all our users in this country. Number 1, we're going to prioritize safety, particularly for teenagers, and we're going to keep it a top priority for us. Second, we're going to firewall off protected US data from any unwanted foreign access. 3, we commit to keep TikTok free. A free place for freedom of expression without any manipulation by any government.
Well, I think I've been on it the longest, so it really knows what to kind of send my way. And I think because of that, it just kind of is always giving me content that I appreciate. So it's kind of a source of entertainment. Sometimes it's stuff that I'm learning about, and then there's kind of a lot of like activism on TikTok too, so it kind of just like keeps me informed. I think that's unfair. I don't know, I think people are just assuming that it's doing harm, and I don't think that that's true or appropriate.
I use TikTok daily.
Why?
I enjoy the content. I get most of my news actually through TikTok, and it helps me be aware of more activism as well as like issues going on in the community. So I find that a lot of crimes that I wouldn't know that were going on with like minorities, I am being told through TikTok and not actually through like news outlets that I'm seeing. So once I see that on TikTok, I go and I do my own research on it, obviously. But these are just things that I would not be aware of if I didn't have TikTok. I think that's insane. What I have seen of the hearing already, the people in charge of this shouldn't even be in charge of it. There's a whole bunch of racial things going on to the CEO, and that's just disgusting. And I don't understand how the hearing is even taking place when they're repeatedly being racist towards him and like in the public, like with lots of people there, and it's like going live, and I just don't understand how that's even working.
I think it's interesting that it got this far, to be honest. I feel like oftentimes when it's something of this scale, that's going to affect so many people, especially in this day and age with technology being what it is. I feel like usually like it gets killed earlier on. I'm surprised actually it got this far. So I'll be very intrigued to see what the end result is. Yeah.
I use Instagram more often, but I know a lot of my friends use TikTok, and I feel like it'd be very disruptive. Specifically for people that are content creators, I feel like it'd be very disruptive to their financial wellness.
Honestly, I just use it for like recreational use, so like on my way to the train or like anytime I'm bored, really. Yeah, well, I'm eating, exactly. I don't like it because I use TikTok a lot, so it would affect me.